It's hard to miss the buzz around cars coming out of China these days. They
Definitely.
seem to have gone from, well, almost nowhere to being major players really fast. What's really going on there? What's the story behind this shift?
That's exactly what we're going to dig into today. We've got a couple of, I think, really insightful sources to help us unpack it all.
Okay.
First, there's some detailed observations from Calpurnia, gives us a great look at how Chinese cars have, transformed in quality and market position.
Right.
And second, we'll be using notes from the Shanghai Auto Show 2025. That gives a real concrete snapshot of the latest trends and innovations coming out of China right now.
Okay, so the mission here is to really get a handle on the forces driving this increasing visibility of Chinese vehicles. We want to kind of get beyond the headlines, figure out what's actually significant.
Absolutely. And, to understand where we are now, it's maybe helpful to look back a bit at the initial perceptions, right,
Mm.
of made in China in the car world.
Right. Yeah, Calpurnia Insights sort of reminds us that, well, not that long ago, the general view was there were cheap options, basically. Maybe less refined engines, materials that felt a bit budget focused.
That's a pretty fair picture of the early days, I'd say.
Hmm.
But what's truly striking is just how fast things have changed, the scale of the transformation.
Hmm.
Today, you see many Chinese cars with really advanced tech, impressive build quality, and yet they often still manage that more competitive price tag compared to, established global rivals.
So how did they manage that?
Well, Calpurnia points to this incredible efficiency, how quickly and effectively they tackled production problems. That seems to be a key driver.
Okay, so production got sorted. But here's where it gets interesting for buyers, I think. It's not just the mechanics anymore, is it?
No, not at all.
Calpurnia also highlights how they addressed one of the big initial sticking points for international buyers, especially in Europe, the design.
That's a huge element. Yeah,
Yeah.
initially, some of the designs, well, they just didn't quite land with European tastes, did they?
A bit unappealing, perhaps.
Maybe just didn't quite align aesthetically. There was that perception anyway.
So what did they do? They didn't just, stick with it.
No, Calpurnia notes a really significant investment in design capabilities, and maybe even more crucially, setting up design centers in Europe.
Ah, right on the ground.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Tapping into local talent, local understanding, creating styles that resonate better with those specific customers.
That sounds like a smart strategic move, going beyond just copying.
Definitely. It allowed them to really internalize that European design thinking. And it wasn't just the outside either. Calpurnia emphasizes the big upgrades inside the car.
The interior quality.
Yeah, a clear shift away from those more basic layouts and less premium materials, moving towards interiors that meet and sometimes, even exceed what European buyers expect now.
And all this is happening while European car makers are facing, well, some challenges of their own, right?
Precisely. Calpurnia highlights that European automakers are navigating a tricky period. Sales pressure is a big one.
And a lot of that comes down to price,
That's a major factor, yeah. The increasing cost of their vehicles.
which I guess opens the door pretty wide for these Chinese brands.
It certainly seems to create a significant opportunity. Calpurnia suggests the appeal is that compelling mix. Lower purchase cost, but without necessarily sacrificing quality, tech, or increasingly style.
It's a value proposition that's hard to ignore.
Exactly. And Calpurnia observes this is sparking real interest, genuine curiosity among European consumers. People are starting to look seriously at these alternatives.
Okay, let's talk about the manufacturing side then. The power behind it. Calpurnia had some interesting points on their modern production capabilities.
Yeah, what's really striking is the amount of financial resource they seem to have.
Yeah.
Calpurnia mentions almost unlimited financial capacity, which is, well, huge.
Wow.
But maybe even more impactful is the focus on vertical integration, this idea of doing everything or almost everything in-house.
Like BYD, right? Calpurnia uses them as a key example.
A prime illustration, yeah. They make the vast majority of their own parts, including those critical batteries for EVs.
And that gives them an edge.
A huge one. As Calpurnia notes, it means much faster action times compared to competitors relying on complex supplier networks. More control, more agility.
So they can pivot faster, solve problems quicker. It's not just assembly lines, it's like a whole ecosystem.
That's a good way to put it.
Hmm.
And it doesn't stop at production. Calpurnia also really underscores their focus on R&D, research and development.
Ah, the future stuff.
Absolutely vital. Calpurnia points to this distinctly future-focused mindset in China. They're reinvesting a notably higher slice of their revenue back into R&D compared to many established European firms.
Interesting.
There's this constant push for new tech, trying to stay ahead.
So it's not just about catching up anymore. They're actively investing to, well, try and leapfrog the competition.
That seems to be the strategy, yes.
Okay, let's switch gears slightly to the Shanghai Auto Show 2025. What jumped out from those notes? What did the show really tell us?
The Shanghai show really brought a lot of these trends into sharp focus and gave a glimpse of where things are heading. One of the biggest takeaways from the Calpurnia notes was just the sheer dominance of Chinese brands in their own market.
How dominant are we talking?
We're talking 65% market share in 2025. And the projection, it could hit 75% by 2030.
Wow, 3/4 of the market. That's huge.
It is, and it explains why the Calpurnia notes mention this increasing pressure on Western manufacturers. You might see more alliances, maybe consolidations, as they try to stay competitive there.
Makes sense. What about the tech on display? Anything stand out?
Oh, definitely. The Calpurnia notes really highlight the advanced digital tech and design. These aren't just cars anymore. They're becoming, digital platforms.
Digital cockpits, lots of screens.
Multiple screens, yeah. Personalized experiences for driver and passengers. A real focus on comfort, luxury. Comparable to high-end European SUVs, honestly.
So they're really dialing into what modern buyers want, that seamless tech integration. And I assume EVs and hybrids were a big thing.
A massive theme. The Calpurnia notes detailed several key developments. Leapmotor, for instance, had a global launch for its B01 and apparently strong orders for their B10 SUV.
Okay.
Volkswagen, working with local partners, showed off 3 electric concepts ID, or IO, ID, ERI, ID, EVO. Interesting tech there, like extended range hybrids and the ID EVO, an 800-volt system for super fast charging.
800-volt, right. That's becoming the benchmark. And established European luxury brands are active too.
Very active. Audi, according to the notes, presented 5 new models just for China, including the electric E5 Sportback with, get this, over 770 kilometers range and level 2 plus autonomous driving.
Over 770 kilometers, that's serious range. And Toyota, big investment there too.
Huge. A $2 billion investment announced for a new Shanghai factory, specifically for electric Lexus vehicles and batteries. It just underlined how critical the Chinese EV market is for everyone now.
$2 billion, that really drives home the scale of competition and opportunity. It wasn't all just passenger EVs, though, was it? Did the notes mention other areas?
They did. A German manufacturer showed a concept called Vision V. It's a look at luxury vans of the future with level 3 autonomy and a clever super electric hybrid system.
Level 3, okay. And what about traditional engines? Are they still relevant?
Apparently so.
Yeah.
Somewhat surprisingly, the Calpurnia notes mentioned Great Wall Motors developing a new V8 bi-turbo engine.
A V8? Really?
Yeah, it shows that even with the massive EV push, they're still advancing traditional engine tech, too. It speaks to a broad engineering capability, I think.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here, drawing from those Calpurnia insights and the Shanghai Auto Show notes. If we were to boil it down, what are the main takeaways from this deep dive?
Well, first I'd say the sheer progress of Chinese cars is undeniable. Quality, tech, design, it's been a remarkable evolution. They're serious global players now.
Right. Not just budget options anymore.
Definitely not. Second, their competitive pricing hits at a time when European makers face cost pressures. That makes the value proposition really strong for consumers.
The timing is key.
Absolutely. Yeah. Third, the heavy investment in R&D suggests this pace isn't slowing down. They're focused on future innovation. And finally, the Shanghai show just hammered home their dominance domestically and signaled their growing global ambition and capability.
So going back to that initial question, what's behind this rapid rise? It really sounds like a potent mix.
It is. It's rapid quality leaps, strategic design investment, efficient vertically integrated manufacturing, deep financial backing, and just this relentless drive for tech innovation.
A multifaceted push.
Exactly. It's a really dynamic situation, and it's reshaping the whole global auto industry.
Okay, so here's something for you, the listener, to think about. Given everything we've discussed, this continuous improvement, the attractive pricing, the dominance in the world's biggest market, what might the global car landscape actually look like in, say, 5 or 10 years?
Yeah, how will the established players adapt? What does that mean for competition?
And what new innovations or even new consumer expectations might bubble up because of all this change? Definitely something worth pondering.